You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. This is an auspicious morning. We are the smack middle of the week where we bring the youthful vibe here on Tobago Updates at Youth Wednesdays. And my name is Dwayne Nurse and I'm joined with
Joshelle Dan. Good morning.
All right, good morning. I just want to welcome all of you on the varying platforms on YouTube, on Facebook, and Channel 102 on Player. Good morning and welcome. It's a beautiful morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you. We have a lot in store for you this morning. But before we get into what we have for you this morning, we're going to go straight into news in 90 seconds with Miss Dan.
Thank you, Dwayne. Tobago police are investigating the drowning of 42-year-old Joshua McFarlane, who was found unresponsive at the bottom of a pool at her home in Mount Irvin on Monday morning. Her mother discovered her and a neighbor pulled her from the water. Despite being rushed to the Scarborough General Hospital, Joshua was pronounced dead. Police, including the Criminal Investigation Department and the Crime Scene Unit, found no visible signs of violence on her body. Police are continuing investigation into the incident with an autopsy scheduled later in this week. The Tobago Chamber of Commerce has offered to provide resources, including financial aid and parts, to help repair 47 police vehicles as part of efforts to combat crime on the island. This initiative follows a meeting with Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Keith Scotland, and Commissioner of Police, Earl Haywood Christopher. The Chamber is expected to submit a plan outlining its contributions. Meanwhile, security officials are confident that crime will soon be under control, with results-oriented policing expected to yield visible outcomes. Akeem Stewart will be the sole athlete representing Trinidad and Tobago at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, taking place from August 28 to September 8. Stewart, a two-time Paralympic medalist, will compete in the men's discus 464 event. This is his second Paralympics. He previously won gold in javelin and a silver in discus at the 2016 Rio Games. Stewart, known for setting world records, will be accompanied by Chief D. Mission, Mickey Ruben, and coach Wade Franklin. That was your news in 90 seconds.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you for that news in 90 seconds with Miss Dan. Miss Dan, what is happening in this space besides the negative brouhaha about crime and so on? What positives are you noticing in this space? Anything you want to share with the viewers this morning?
Okay, so I know on Monday we celebrated International Youth Day. I know interns from the YES program, World of Work, and other internships happening around the island went to the pro-launch event that was held at Community Development. I think that was something interesting. We had panelists, and I know, of course, you were there as well. So I think it really did have a positive impact on the youths who were there.
Yeah, and you know that definitely is one of my key takeaways from that event, is knowing that because the theme was from cliques to progress, and my thing is that I really do hope that a lot of the young people there did leave there believing that they could start something new and become the next Steve Jobs or even greater right here in Tobago, using the technology that is before us. And another point I was making while I was on the panel is that we need to be careful that we don't allow technology and its benefits to be our impediment, and also we need to also break down some of the taboo walls that we have that will help to foster that kind of innovation that we need right here in our schools, beginning with young people like yourself. being younger than yourselves. You know, I mean, this day and age, why a student can't carry their phone to school? It's crazy. And those are some of the simple things that does stymie, you know, progress and innovation. You know, but yeah, it was nice. I didn't see you per se, but I'm glad you were there.
Yes,
I'm glad
I
you were
was.
there. We are about 2 months away from Carnival, and we're seeing a lot of things taking place where that is concerned. You know, I mean, I'm not a, I don't party, I don't know about you, but I would definitely take the opportunity to get some much needed rest, you know, while the island, you know, is in that kind of mode. What are your thoughts?
I think that, you know, I share the same sentiments with you. I think I want to rest during Carnival.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are excited. I'm just reminding individuals to remain safe while they're
Yes.
going out and they're partying and they're having fun. But I am excited to see what this year would bring. Like that, to see what the bands will. So I would be at home watching TV and looking on while taking some much needed rest.
Yes, yes, and I think I wanted to, it's time before we go into the rundown, just to shout out our viewers that is with us here this morning. We have Mr. Ajay Allen watching with us. We have Brianna Taylor, Brianna, sorry, I'm so sorry. Don't come at me, please. Forgive me. And we have Miss Mauricia Douglas Gonzalez viewing with us this morning. And those of you who did not make it in the mention this morning, you know, welcome, and just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. Right. So we want to go quickly to the rundown quickly. We have three interviews, well, 2 segments this morning. And first, we have empowering the creative industry. We have none other than Mrs. Latoya Roberts Thomas, who is a communication consultant in IDB, which is the International Development Bank. We have 2 segments. Miss Joshua and Dwayne, yours truly, will be conducting that interview this morning. And finally, we don't give a sip. Thank God we excluded the H and the T. You know, that would be kind of rude. But this coming to have that discussion this morning, which is an event, we have Creed Black, and we going to be discussing with some reggae artists who will be coming on this morning to kind of promote their event. So that is the rundown for you this morning. Joshua, we have to tell him again to
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, in Tobago. Fun fact, we want to take the discussion surrounding empowering the orange industry, and I myself and Miss Dan will be conducting this interview this morning. But before we invite Mrs. Latoya Roberts to the interview this morning, we want to quickly give our birthday shout outs this morning. And first we have Miss Matoya Davidson. Good morning and happy birthday goes out to you from the Tobago Updates family, and here with us at Youth Wednesdays. Next we have Cindy Lord. We have Cindy Lord. Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays. Happy birthday goes out to you. You look lovely. And again, all at all. And who do we have next, Miss Dan?
Miss Raquel Corby, happy birthday to you as well.
All right, they look so beautiful. Three beautiful ladies. And for those of you who did not make it on our birthday list this morning, we want to wish you guys a happy birthday. And for those who would have celebrated their birthdays within the month of August and did not make it on our list as well, we want to wish you a happy birthday. So at this point in time, we want to invite Mrs. Latoya Roberts to come to this fore and let us have this discussion this morning surrounding empowering the orange industry. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Tobago Updates.
Right,
so
all
much for
right.
having me here.
It's always a pleasure to have Tobagonians at the forefront of our discussions. Always. And certainly you are no stranger to me. You seem to wear many hats. And I see you're representing the theme this morning, orange.
Yes, very much so. It's a creative economy. It's all about the orange economy this morning.
All right. So just for those who don't know what you do, tell us about the IDB, what it represents and what it does, and what is your role in this organization.
So good morning, online and those that are connected in different parts of the world. So the Inter-American Development Bank, it is a development bank, and a lot of people get confused what that means. And basically, working within Latin America and the Caribbean. So we represent this region from America, Central America, South America countries, and also the Caribbean countries. We work with the government and also private sector entities towards products and services that benefit the region to grow. So whether it's loan funding to governments, we also do grant funding to NGOs, private sector organizations, persons that are creating innovative solutions that will benefit the region. And then we also offer technical support and advice in different development areas, whether it's through infrastructure, health, development, transport, a wide range of areas in our portfolio. So just think of that large lateral organization working in this region to really make life better for the people who reside in the part of the world.
Okay, so
And
can you...
Sorry. So I was just going to say, I sit in the country office of Trinidad and Tobago because we have many offices throughout the region, and specifically my portfolio deals with commissions and also stakeholder engagement.
Okay, so can you share with me what is the inspiration for starting this program?
That's a wonderful question. So part of our portfolio in trade and also private sector development. And specifically, we understand the role of SMEs in local economies. Specifically, about 90% of these based in Latin America and the Caribbean are actually SMEs. So they export a lot of products through. A lot of the population is paid, and therefore we know it will lead to better employment. And as a result of that, we know the sectors that are functioning countries will one for tourism industry, others will focus on whether it's the oil and gas, some are still focusing more on services industries. But with the last few years, the creative industries has been really growing. When we talk about creatives, we're thinking broadly cultural industries, creative industries. So this is some videographers, or design persons, or persons that are working in art and technology, or persons that are working in the handicraft and those traditional industries. And that is a large section of our economy. And we realize that there's opportunities for network sharing resources around the region. So in March 2014, the Connect Americas platform was born, and it's actually a collaboration with the IDP and many players such as Google, Meta, MasterCard, DHL, CLAN, etc., to create one of the largest online business platforms in Latin America and the Caribbean. And specifically this year, we would have launched a part of the platform that focuses on creative industries.
Okay, so how do entrepreneurs gain access to this program?
So the Connect Americas platform is very simple. Just as any other website that exists, you can just go to your browser, type in Connect Americas, and then you can create an account on the platform. You could simply create it via your email address and a password, or you could log into one of your existing social media sites, for example, your Gmail address or your account, and then you can create a profile. When you're there, your profile as an individual, if you're an individual creator, or if you're a company and you want to include your company registration, the more details that you decide to put up your company and the greater you build your profile, it's the better opportunities that you may receive on that platform for marketing, for connection to supply services and products, for opportunities to do the workshops, the webinars, the trade, the export-oriented activities throughout the platform.
Okay. My question to you for the young viewers and that is listening, what is the orange industry? And we have been hearing a lot of colors, you have red, pink, yellow, blue, green. Is there going to be brown? What does the orange industry represent? For those who might not understand what it means.
So that's a very excellent question. The orange economy was a term coined by the IDP about 7 years ago. I've completed a study that dealt with the different sectors that are operating in the regions, not in America and the Caribbean, but around the globe. And we realized that there was a certain sector that comprised of persons that are trading in cultural goods and cultural services and creative goods. And the creative economy is very broad. You could be working in the manufacturing industry. For example, you're working in an assembly line, manufactures cars, but the person that works on the colors towards the car, or the person that does the modeling and the sketches and the design towards that car. Or you could be an artist, you could be a record singer, and you work along a product line, whether it's with a sound engineer, you're working with the writer of your songs, the musical technician, you're an artist. So the creative industry is broad. It really speaks to how people use culture, innovation, and the creativeness of their to create a product or service that will benefit the community. Many aspects of the creative industry are product oriented and others are service driven. So it's of the two, but it really focuses on orange. We saw it as a color, being the vibrancy, the life, the creativity, human being coming together to create those products and services that we all enjoy.
So in the context of Tobago, tourism is a major part of our economy here, both locally and nationally. What role would you see the orange economy playing in ensuring that Tobago is at the forefront of a lot of these developments? Because as you would understand, as you would have rightfully mentioned, culture is one of the key tenants in the orange economy. Entertainment is one of those other things. If you were to inspire a young person, tell them how important this economy is in ensuring that Tobago is at the fore.
Excellent question. I love how you bring that point up. The orange economy and creative industries all service sectors, and specifically Tobago landscape, because we are predominantly based on tourism. There are different niches of tourism, soft and adventure, or whether it's cultural products that we sell through a festival. We have a big carnival coming in October. That's itself. From the parties, from the event planners, all the side events that might happen, from the wire benders and the costume designers, from the musical arrangements, every and that whole process line within itself. And even if you're not thinking that your service or your product is really broad within the creative industry, think about it. Somebody has an event. Who is a graphic designer that works on the communication materials that you have to put out? It's all the branding product that goes with activity. The idea of to get a cup has to conceptualize and design the color, the layout, the formatting of the words. All of those things are opportunities in which creatives operate and function daily. I would also like to remind us that everything is evolving. 5 to 8 years ago, we did not have job titles or influencer. They are creatives. Social content strategists. They are creative. So creative industry has also been able to use a lot of technology to support the work that you're doing, and really works well because it allows the creators to cross borders. The same tourism industry is moving persons from one place.
Okay, so for a young person who is interested in getting more information in terms of the orange economy and what the IDB is doing, where can we access this information?
That's a great question. So the Connect Americas platform, up via your Google browser, you could just type Connect Americas and you could create an account there. There's also an account on book for the Connect Americas that allows a lot of networking and information. And also you can also access information by the country representative of the IDB in Trinidad and Tobago, that is Ms. Kareem. Social media handles at NC Coburn and at COCKBURN rep TT. But at the end of the day, IDBs are very known. And so once you Google IDB, you check us out on social media platforms, you'll also find relevant links to the other aspects of our programming that we offer.
Right, all right. Just before we go and wrap up this interview this morning, you mentioned technology being one of the key aspects of making sure that creatives in this space be able to ply their trade and go to places that plane and boat could not take them years ago. What are some of the resources available in terms of training and even equipment and so on, that these persons who are signing for this program can attain once they become participants?
So the Connect Americas platform is a resource tool. So there's opportunities for workshop and training. This year we would have conducted trainings out of the Trinidad and Tobago office. We had dealt with intellectual property And also at our country office, we are navigating the idea of 3D space. So we do a video screen, and we have been working with persons interested in 3D content creation. So there are a lot of opportunities for. There's also opportunities to access information on funding, on opportunities to connect with other businesses. And as the platform continues to build and the request of the users, we will continue to add different services and needs to those who are engaging in the platform. Generally, also, IDB is a very useful resource too. So not only do we have this platform, but just generally following the IDB website and pages, we always announce different grant funding, different technical capacity opportunities for persons along various sectors, not only the creative industry. And I'd like to also remind that we work a lot with the private and the public sector, and we specifically have our President's Awards for Innovation and Service Excellence that deal with how the public sector have been creating goods and services that also benefit the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So we encourage persons to check out all the opportunities on our social media pages.
I want to thank Mrs. Latoya Robert Thomas for joining us this morning. Listen, it's really a pleasure to see, that we have entities outside of Trinidad and Tobago that is interested in economies like ours and developing economies like ours. Guys, for those who are interested, we're going to put up the page after the interview or after Youth Wednesday this morning, so you could join, you could look at the page and become a member and access the resources that could help to take you forward and by extension the nation forward. Just remember that we have a lot more for you up next. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this soca is my therapy, therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Together say we are.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait On an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet, Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're chipping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates Morning Show. You know, for those of you who just closed your door or you just stepped out of the room and missed our last interview, my name is Dwayne, your favorite youth host this morning. And we want to take the discussion to literacy, and we have none other than Mrs. Susanna Sanford, CEO of the Tobago Institute of Literacy here in Tobago. But before we get into the interview, I just want to shout out as two special viewers. Kaylee Lewis, good morning. You know, we love you and we miss you very much. You know, thank you for joining us and giving your unwavering support. And we have a new, or seemingly a new viewer all the way from Monrovia, Liberia. His name is Amadou Abkene. I hope I pronounced it right, but forgive me if I didn't. But welcome to Youth Wednesdays here in Tobago, you know, and those of you who are joining us all over the world, welcome. So this morning we want to talk about literacy. Mrs. Sanford,
yes.
if I'm yes, good, lovely, Mrs.
Yes.
I've seen her ring, so I had to say
yes.
lovely. So welcome to Youth Wednesdays. Tell us about yourself. What do you do in relation to your organization?
Well, as it says, the executive officer has to run the show.
Right.
And I happen to have two able-bodied assistants. Chika Bailey, who is the AL coordinator, and Lorraine Thompson, who is our chief accounts officer.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. So basically, the three of us run the show, as we say, putting classes in as many community centers as we can, and operating using the academic school year, because we know a lot of the people who come are parents. So to kind of inflict ourselves on them during holiday time is not right, because that's their time with their kids.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's really nice. So how long have you been at this? And when was this institution built in?
All right, let me go back. In the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
1990s, Zena Puddy is the foundress of
Oh my,
this
I
idea.
don't even know who that is,
Oh,
but just
she's
just
a
just
lady.
quickly tell us
She's
about
a
that.
lady that knows her onions when coming to this
Right.
literacy, and I would have had the opportunity at the time to work with Alta, Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
So they opened a branch in Tobago.
Oh, nice.
But in her good wisdom, and I say that with no compunction, with her whole idea and philosophy of what Tobago is, having lived here, she understood the culture is different.
Mm-hmm.
So what appeals to Trinidad may not totally appeal to Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
So she formed her own, she broke away and she formed the Tobago Literacy Unit, right? So, and worked hard to get a venue, knocked on the THA doors for quite a number of years, and eventually things fell into place. So where we are is where they put her. And that's where I am right now, to this day. Right? The old works building at the bottom of Burnett Hill.
Okay.
Right there. There's a green door. Knock and come in. We never turn people away.
That's really good. What is literacy and why is it important for persons to be a part of literacy?
Okay. Let me tell you something. People get mixed up. Literacy is reading. It is, but before you get to the reading, you have to learn all the rules and regulations. One of it is phonics, which everybody knows now because Jolly Phonics has taken over.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows about phonics, learning to sound out the alphabet, right? Reading is once you have completed, you have a very good memory, your eyes are working well for you, you can pick up anything and read. But how did it get there? And what makes it what it is? That's where the literacy is. Literacy is that little bit down below there that tells you why is there not an I, but a Y in sky. You got me?
Understood.
And that is where we come in. We explain that. Each year, we have tutor training using a new program that was designed by UE for us, right? And I'll leave it there for the time being. When you ask me the next question.
I want to give people this sense of your presence here in Tobago. Just tell us about your years of service and how many persons you would have impacted coming through your doors, if you were able to ever quantify.
Oh Lord. All right. Me personally, I've been here since 1984, I think, or 84, 85. I opened a school called Scarborough Montessori Center.
Oh, nice.
Murray House Prep School, because the parents begged me, open the primary section. And believe it or not, it was sheer joy teaching those children. Today I see them with their own children. Auntie, open back a school now. No, I can't do that. I'm too old for that now. And I wouldn't want to open a school and not be part of it.
Right.
Sitting down from home and running the roost. No, I can't do that. I got to get my foot in there. Right? Regarding Tobago Institute of Literacy, I joined as a board member. And it would have been way back 1999, around there. Because yes, that's how far back my relationship with TIL is. And when there was need for a person to sit in the big chair, as we call it, and time was running out on us to find somebody because the pay was not big.
Yeah.
This is a voluntary organization.
Yes.
Our pay is not, salaries are not massive salaries. They are
More like a stipend.
it is, you better believe it, for the amount of work that we do, right? And it would seem as if like we're not going to get somebody. Asked me, Having had the experience of running Scarborough Montessori for 23 years before I closed the doors, right? They asked me to hold on. I'm still there.
Yeah, boy. You see, when you love what you do,
Yes,
you don't work
that
a
is
day
what it
in your
is.
life.
That is
You know,
what it is.
there's this notion that Tobagonians are, at the bare minimum, at the forefront of literacy and brilliance. What can you say to debunk that statement in your experience with Tobagonians? Because I have a different philosophy. I don't know if we share the same philosophy where that is concerned, but just tell Tobagonians, in your experience, have you been shocked? Have you always been aware of the capabilities of the Tobagonian?
Well, it's only Tobago children, I thought, basically.
Yeah.
And all of them who are not doctors up there now and nurses up in the hospital, a couple of economists, people with their own business, youngsters with their own businesses. It's Tobago folk. Tobago has bright people. And it bothers me when you what went wrong. But you have to go back again. When I interview people who want to learn to read, adults, they will tell you they had to leave school because daddy died.
Right.
And mommy needed somebody to help her because mommy have 6 children.
Yes.
So they would have left school like at about age 10, 11, 12, having not completed schooling, having some experience of reading, or might have left school with serious reading problems, which was never detected. Because it's only now, the last 25 to 30 years, we are seeing where reading is. What's going on? Look at what happened with COVID.
Yeah.
How many youngsters, I would stand up by my front door in the office there and watch young people reading, because I'm in town.
Right.
I'm in town, so I'm seeing them walking up and down, doing nothing. And then their parents dragging them into the office. And when I ask them, I say, you like school? No. Why?
Boring.
It boring. There you go. It boring. And then it hit me. But of course it must be boring. We're living in the 21st century. But we are actually applying 19th century stuff.
Yeah. To Gen Z. You teach your organization is centered around teaching adults and young adults literacy and literacy. Sorry. Tell what would you say to those folks who might be very shy to come to your organization, because you would have recently had a graduation, and I think it's themed. Just tell the viewers about that as well, about your training cohort themed.
Tutor training?
Yes.
All right. Before I get to tutor training, let me tell you something. It is not easy for people to know, or for anyone to tell anyone that they can read. You see them at the ATM machine fumbling, and they will tell you stuff. Oh, I left my glasses at home. And this is if I don't go to the ATM again, because I really can't. This walking around with this thing is tiresome for me. But I used to say, come up the road by me now. I just up the road, I'm going to teach you how to use the ATM. Right? The banks were calling on everybody to use the ATM and not come into the bank hall, because the bank hall have zillions of people. Doing what? Depositing and withdrawing. And they were calling on help. And I remember calling one person in the bank. I'm not calling any names. And I said to her, if you help me, bring an old ATM machine by me and I will teach them how to read it. But you have to do the thing, put in the little card, all you know how to do all your things. That's a good idea. And I said, all you need to teach people how to use the machine.
Yes. And it's these simple things that help people who might be challenged.
Exactly.
Want to do better and be better. And I don't think that a lot of our institutions take that into consideration. We are now moving towards a digital thrust and digitization. How have you used those those technologies, whether old or new,
Well,
in your delivery?
I tell my tutors, I say, listen, take the cell phone into the classroom and teach them how to use it, huh? Because I don't think we are taking what we are in presently, which is, as you rightly say, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd century. People still don't understand that AI is an important part of where we are going. Stop finding fault with something you don't understand.
Correct.
Right? I don't completely understand AI either. But what I'm saying is that we cannot afford to not work towards getting the young people into. This is a sore topic for me, but if we only stop and think in our education system, how much of it is, as you put it, intelligence driven, what we teach, using technology as the core. If we could only stop and think that we could get them to read more and enjoy school more, doing the hands-on, they would stop the teaching. We talk too much as teachers.
Yes. You know, unfortunately, this brings us to the end of our interview
It's
this
a very
morning.
short interview.
But I want you to tell the viewers where we could find your institution. How do they sign up? If there are any fees attached, just tell us before you go.
Sure. We are at the bottom of Burnett Hill, in the old works building, the old compound, where the inspectorate, electrical inspectorate, some of you might know it there, town and country planning. Right? What you could do is come in, knock on the door, and say what you want to have done. You're spelling money to find out which community center. We have flyers. You're going to be sticking them all around town, right? So that you get an idea of where you are, so you could come in and do what you have to do with us.
All right. So I want to thank you for being with us this morning, Mrs. Saniford. Guys, this brings us to the end of this interview. Up next, we have Creed Black, reggae artist, to discuss We Don't Give a Sip. So stay tuned for that, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me play very hard, fiesta, fun, fiesta.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke where you have, where you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good all. Video, but then enough, nine. Girl, go the club, girl, right. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream. Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. As you know, it is Youth Wednesdays, so all of our conversations are youth focused. In studio with me this morning is Creed Black, a local reggae artist here on the island of Tobago. Good morning, Creed.
Hi, good morning.
And how are you feeling this morning?
I'm good, comfortable, you know.
Okay, wonderful. So, crime is a big conversation right now and everybody is talking about it. You have different stakeholders being involved in this conversation. However, you are taking crime from a totally different perspective. One that young people, I think, needs to be involved in, and that is crime in relation to music, right? We know that we are having ongoing conversations where persons are saying, oh my goodness, it's the music that the youths are listening to that are, you know, contributing to the idea of quote unquote badness and revelry, right? So can you tell me, right, what is your opinion in terms of persons from the older generation who would say things like the music that you young people are listening to right now is what is, you know, contributing to the crime situation?
Well, one of the things we should realize and we check in like in history. Coming down when we had like you may not know these guys, but like from Supercat, Papa San, Stitchy and thing, Ninja Man, you know, those are dancehall artists. And coming down to the ages, you know, badness was always there. Right? Badness was always there, the concept of crime was always there and that kind of stuff. But one of the things that the artists used to do, and that's one of the things that we've not seen lately or within this era, is the responsibility of you bringing your offering to the public. You understand? So in regards to, you know, it being there for over the years, is that with the artists, they used to say, okay, all right, when I talk about badness, they used to make it their duty that when I talk about badness and when I talk about gun and when I talk about anything that is so associated with crime, is basically from a lyrical standpoint. You understand? Okay. So they tend to school us. You know, during those times, they used to school us in regards to the lyric and the content that they used to bring. Now, you're getting schooling, yes, but more from a different perspective, whereby it's more about, hey, really and truly, this is about bloodshed. Right. You understand? This is about gang war. This is about, you know, killing somebody and holding up a nine and whatever the case may be. So it changed, you know. So me, from my perspective, being a reggae artist on the Tobago Island, I basically see that, you know what, based on my offerings, I want to bring something that kind of balance it off, right? Because the darkness wouldn't go away. It will be real. It wouldn't go away. You still need the light in regards to that. So emphasis on the type of content I will bring is basically to bring awareness for people to search themselves, do some introspection, and let's see we could able to make the place a better place. You know?
I know that you spoke to bloodshed, right? We have a genre of music that is emerging or has been emerging for quite some time, which is Trinidad, right? I think it's probably something similar to Jamaican dancehall. And what I have been noticing is that in a lot of these music videos, you have props and guns and stuff portraying a lot of criminal elements. And I think that, even though there are disclaimers saying that the props here are not used, you have a lot of young people who are claiming sides, right? So you have, okay, I listen to 6 music alone, or I listen to 7 music, right? What do you think about young people, right? And their, role in this, basically supporting these artists in terms of claiming these numbers and, being, interested in such quote-unquote violent music?
Well, as I said before with the history, we growing up within the 80s and the 90s, 80s children, right? As I said, the badness was there. But as I say, one of the things that we had in regards to our upbringing was our, as I would say, our first government, which is parents, right? That is the first government all of us meet up when we're born, right? The government of parenthood. So in regards to that, even though the music that was there and so forth, sometimes, what our parents used to say, okay, you had to understand where this person coming from. Listen to the story, understand where they're coming from in regards to that. Now, the gangs, yes, they have a story to tell, but then now, in regards to a power struggle, as I mentioned about the gun, they speak to, okay, all right, police are gone. Soldiers are gone. So then now you have a situation where some police would abuse their power because of the fact that they have a gun on their side. Boudreaux sang a song called Mr. 9 when he was speaking about the 9mm speaking to the 45. It basically saying that, hey, hear what? Batman saying, okay, police want to abuse their power, well then we want power too. So they go on and gravitate to the gun because they, in their mind, they because the foundation was kind of shaky for them, right? And I'm talking about parenthood, shaky for them, not getting the proper upbringing, not getting the proper guidance and that kind of stuff. They turn to that being the power. You understand? So then now, because of police abusing the power at times, using gun, Batman say, okay, all right, I was some power too, so I got to turn to the gun. It just basically, as a society, we need to really sit down and listen to the stories of these young men and see how we could be able to counteract it. And the best way, as I say, is me bringing some positive vibe to it and really endorse that, because the positive vibe will be really real. It will really get endorsed.
Right, correct. Yeah. And in terms of talking about this positive vibe, a lot of people, as I mentioned before, would say that the music is the cause of the crime. But do you think, from a different perspective, that the music that is being portrayed is a reflection of the lifestyle that, many of these people are living? Or is it a cry for help?
To use the music as the totality for crime is, for me personally, and to be honest with you, is idiocy. Right? It has some contribution because of the fact that we tend to take a lot of things literal. Because sometimes a man may speak from a perspective of that may sound like crime related, but he may be talking from a perspective of pain. But because we misunderstand where he coming from, we literally figure, okay, so him to go out and shoot a man, So the aspect of us operating with, the assumption that is all crime, because I hear poets like spoken word artists and things speak on crime and talk about take out a matic and whatever the case may be, and it's only related to the situations, the problems, the things that they're gonna face in life and whatever the case may be. But nobody never really take no time to say, sit down with these men. These are sometimes, as we talk about the Trinidad artists and so forth, these guys came from poverty.
Right.
You understand? So to make it totally surrounds music, that would be unfair. You understand? Buju sing some songs that put in, like I said, like I talk about it 9 Mr. 45. Man would have take that literally and want to go out and shoot, but it wasn't putting into that. Right. So sometimes we misunderstand certain things, and music is left for interpretation.
Right.
You know, so it's not for you to literally, you know, try to take control of another man's life, but to sit down and say, hey, look, we had these guys. I've never seen anybody else, unless they had to go to promote their music, really sit down and have a conversation with these guys. The real problem I would see is starting from the foundation, parenthood. You understand? We have as a parent, we have we have to guide our children. You understand? You know, build their minds and able for them to get strong minds and to deal with society. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Given the fact that a lot of these artists have great influence with over thousands of young people following them, don't you think that it's their personal responsibility to issue some sort of positive messages within the songs that they create? Exactly.
And as I say, as an artist, you have a responsibility also. Not just from your parents, but from your from you as a creator or a creative, right? You have to understand that here what I had to know that, okay, what I put in out here, it's either gonna strengthen the people or weaken the people. You understand? Anybody, you could put your music in front of anybody and anybody gonna listen. Right? But it's what you're gonna tell them. What you gonna say to them. That's basically where that question comes in, you know. So
okay, thank you very much, Mr. Creator, for sharing your perspectives on crime and music. Okay, so this is the end of the morning show. However, don't go anywhere yet. We have a GMT coming up next. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The title Creative Calabash is TPAC's Children and Youth Programming Arm, where we use arts and performance to create opportunities for outreach, for competency and capacity building, as well as space just to teach children about all things, not just performing arts, but things cultural, things heritage, things legacy. So this year is our second iteration of Creative Calabash, and it is a 2-week vacation camp. And the theme for this year is Arts Plode, which is arts and explosion, because we're specifically exploring arts of the imagination and play, traditional play and contemporary play, as entries into teaching the discipline.
It's been going very good, and we are having a showcase at the end of camp, and we are now rehearsing, and it has been very good.
What would you say has been your favorite part so far?
Everything.
Dance, film?
We don't do film, and I'm very sad about that because I wanted to try out a camera, but it does happen.
We have just about 60 children, and ranging from ages 4 to 17. And in the camp, the children are divided across 4 age ranges, so they're basically grouped in accordance with their age range: 4 to 7, 8 to 10, 11 to 13, and 14 plus. And I mean, I say this without fear of contradiction. One of the advantages of Creative Calabash is that children get to experience the widest variety of performing arts under one roof.
Our age group has dance, and we have creative free play, where we have to be creative and we have to express our emotions. The visit to the dirt oven made me know more about how our history is and how they make these delicious foods to each other.
Second year going to the camp, and I feel like I learned more than last year, which is fun. I love to learn about performing arts. I started to learn about the traditional dances here in Tobago. I've never danced the Coco before, and I started to learn it a couple of weeks now, which is good because as a Trinidadian, I came here to live a couple years back and I didn't learn anything. And now that I'm starting to learn it properly, I'm very happy about that.
What about if you all have on just the...
We are so deeply invested in creating opportunities where children get to know not just about the space or the island's cultural prowess, but also about themselves. And so the ethos of the camp is also about social development, because we want to deal with things like social values, sharing, fair play. How do I become a good citizen? How do I contribute meaningfully? How, as a Tobagonian child, how do I show up in space? How can I share my voice to help others? So that has been our focus. It has been a beautiful 2 weeks. The TPAC team works so very hard. The aunties and the uncles, 100% credit to them. They are the people who really carry the camp on their backs.
Excellent. The children love to play. I love to play. We all love to play. And they are very eager to learn about Tobago, and they're very eager to learn about all the cultural things that could happen here. Camp has been going amazing. It has been the best experience. Last year I didn't get to come, and I'm so glad I got to come this year because it has been an amazing experience. We play a bunch of games and they teach us our heritage through these games, so it make it fun for the little children, and it also make it fun for me. The greatest part have been film and dance. I never knew I was into film until I tried it, and like we now came from making a documentary, but we mocking it kind of in a funny way. We made it funny, and it was really nice to go through that experience. I never knew I could actually learn my lines and actually deliver it in front of a camera and not have stage fright and not be scared, and it was actually really fun. This camp has opened up my experiences and made me do things that I never knew I could have done.
I am really enjoying myself. This whole experience has been new to me. I am now learning more about Tobago's culture, and I'm a dancer, so I love to know more about my heritage and where I came from, so that when I get older I can teach my kids about our heritage.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am Chanel Felix, and whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Tobago police are investigating the drowning of 42-year-old Jasha McFarlane, who was found unresponsive at the bottom of her pool at her home in Mount Irving on Monday morning. Her mother discovered her, and a neighbor pulled her from the water. Despite being rushed to the Scarborough General Hospital, Jasha was pronounced dead. Police, including the Criminal Investigation Department and the Crime Scene Unit, found no visible signs of violence to her body. Police are continuing investigations into the incident, with an autopsy scheduled for later this week. Additionally, the Tobago Chamber of Commerce has offered to provide resources, including financial aid and parts, to help repair 47 police vehicles as part of the efforts to combat crime on the island. This initiative follows a meeting with the Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Kate Scotland, and Commissioner of Police, Ulla Christopher, and the Chamber is expected to submit a plan outlining its contributions. Meanwhile, security officials are confident that crime will soon be under control, with results-oriented policing expecting to yield visible results. Akeem Stewart will be the sole athlete representing Trinidad and Tobago in Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, taking place from August the 28th to September 8th. Stewart, a two-time Paralympic medalist, will compete in the men's discus F64 event. This is his second Paralympic, and he has previously won gold in javelin and silver in the discus. Stewart, known for setting world records, will be accompanied by chef de mission Mickey Ruben and coach Wade Franklin. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. This morning, I have the pleasure of chatting with Marissa Gibson, who is a sports scientist. This morning, we're talking about sports in Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. It's Marissa Gibson Bailey. I don't want my husband to be obsessed with me. Yeah, all right.
No problem. Well, we want to welcome you here to Tobago Updates this morning as we chat about sport. So first off, tell us about some of the work that you have been doing here in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. In the past, I would have established Playground to Podium. We'd have done some conferences as well as some seminars. We've done a bit in Tobago as well. That's where we had Dr. Barry Fudge, who was my mentor at the time. Because he's Mufara, the long distance runner that you have from Great Britain, that was his physiologist. So we had him in Tobago. We've dealt with students as well as coaches. Also working with, in the past, national athletes across the board. I used to work at a sport company as well, where I did physiological testing of athletes. Currently in the national space, dealing with the secondary schools, working with at-risk youth, and exposing them to sports that they're not accustomed to. For example, golf, swimming in the past. These are sports that youths within that diaspora will not be able to have access to because of maybe expensive equipment or maybe that is not the catchment area most coaches want to focus on. Apart from that, I'm currently in research with Leeds Beckett University, and it's a research coming up actually that I want to be able to do in Trinidad and Tobago with children 11 to 12 years old. And that's something I want to talk about before we leave.
Excellent. And when we talk about youth participation in sports and actually getting into the science behind the sport and healing, have you collaborated with any entities here in Tobago presently, like the Division of Education or even the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport?
It's very funny that you asked that question because there's a bit of contention with that issue. 2 years ago, it could be a year and a half, I had applied for a research grant through the ministry, the division, of education, and tick all the boxes. And the response I got back was that actually it was an actual document that stated that I don't have ties to Tobago and that I'm not living in Tobago, and therefore I could not get access to such grant. And I was taken aback by that. I want to stick a pin there because this is one of the issues that, that would turn nationals who have the capacity, who have the ability to make an impact or want to be able to contribute to development of sport in Tobago. Up to now, that issue of me not having ties to Tobago, and mind you, I am from the village of Plymouth, that I don't have ties to Tobago and I don't live in Tobago, and that does not qualify me to have access to grants. This is not the first issue, but it is not the point of your question, but I just wanted to bring that. I am open to and very willing to work with any entity when it relates to the development of sport in the island. I am a past athlete, and many of Tobagonians, or a few, may know me from playing sport from since I'm small, going through Scarborough State as well. So I am very willing to work with because I have so much ideas, and the network that I have built over the last 12 years could be able to contribute, whether it is a small percentage or large. I know that I can contribute to the development of sport and sport development in Tobago.
Excellent. And it's interesting that you brought up that education grant there from Datas, because there are specific criteria for that one, specifically that persons who receive the grant should come back to Tobago and give obligatory service for the amount of money that they would have been given. I believe that what you should have embarked on was a scholarship from the Office of the Chief Secretary. That's the one where you're not obligated to come back or you're not obligated to give back. So, and I think that it's a wider issue of persons not necessarily understanding the different opportunities that are available. There are grants and then there are scholarships, and everything have different obligations and requirements. But I hope that you guys can get over that, and as you said, you can come and contribute and be able to even understand what is being offered so that you can educate other persons on some of the areas for financing to study, whether it be within the region or internationally, that they can benefit from. But there's a bigger conversation happening in regards to how the Tobago culture feeds into athletic performance of young persons. How do you think that the Tobago culture has affected positively and or negatively how the Tobago athletes have been able to perform?
I would first give you from my own personal perspective. Being an athlete on the island and knowing that you always have to go to Trinidad for training, or you have to go to Trinidad for national trials and all of that, that in itself, I believe, needs to change. I think that Tobago could have its own contingent, and there should be, there should be accommodation for that. On the national scheme of things, I believe that Tobago has a lot of talent, unmatched talent, that even if you have to add the aspect of sports science to it, but more importantly, as you talk about culture, I think that, and I always want to start off I would always want to end positive, but let me begin with the negative, is that we have to get away from this culture of quote unquote blocking persons or running persons away. That's the first thing, because there are so many individuals that could be able to contribute. There are so many persons who studied sport management. Where are they? Where are all the professionals that we should be able to incorporate and create that support team that Hakeem needs at this time, that Jareem speaks about when he talks about, the support that is required. If we are to compete on the international scale, we have to get it together. We have to make sure that, one, our culture of thinking, our mindset has to change. We cannot, for whatever petty or personal reason, just because we feel that we don't like this person. And sometimes when you get to the bottom of the issue, it has nothing to do with the professional nature of that person. It's more personal that they bring to the forefront. So to me, that is part of the culture that I want us to get away from. We need to incorporate more self-reflection. And I think that is the basis of everything. Before we start pointing at other persons, before we start, critiquing, before we start developing anything, we have to take a sound look at ourselves. What do we want? What are our goals? What are our talents? What do you need to contribute? Because if we know ourselves, then there's no reason for you to block another person. We are all walking different paths. We all have different talents, and we all have to contribute in some way to the purpose of what God has put us here for. So for me, I would stop there at first, that culture of blocking this person, or you think that this person should not be here. That is the first thing, because sport in itself it's not going to change. The phenomenon is not going to change, right? The aspects of developing sports would evolve, yes, but in order for us to ride on that wave, we have to take self-reflection as to where we are, who we are, what do we want out of this, see where the world is going, how far are we. Self-reflection for me is really important, and that is part of the culture that we need to start looking within. We need to start looking within, not be so offensive. Don't be defensive about if someone has to say, listen, this is not working. Yes, we have to look at the tone. Yes, we have to look at how we say things, but sometimes the truth needs to be said.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there's a bigger conversation happening about Trinidad and Tobago not bringing back any medals from the Olympics. Tell us how that feeds into your idea of looking at yourself as opposed to pointing the finger at others.
First of all, I like to put this out there that any athlete that qualifies for the Olympics, that's a great achievement in the first place. It is the place where all individuals, who I would always deem them as superhumans because their physiology is different from that of the average person, that they have done exceptionally well. But you have to know going into the Olympics, level playing field, that you got to bring your A game. It's the objective is either you got to medal. Everybody wouldn't medal, but you have to understand the psychology of it. In terms of not meddling, I want to take a little stint from what Jareem has said, what the Minister of Sport has said, and even looking at the interview with Hakeem. Not meddling takes a lot of factors. Now, sports in itself and sport performance, there's so many factors that you have to take into consideration. And sometimes you don't put your hand on actually what is that factor that contributes to you mounting that podium in first, second, and third place. What I would say is that we have to put things in place for elite athlete preparation. We bandy about the terminology of elite performance, high performance, but do we really understand what those terminology mean and what it takes to put resources in places? Because if we understand high performance and we understand elite performance, then our support team would not be reduced only to a medical practitioner who's interested in sport, a physiotherapist, a massage therapist, a personal trainer, and the coach. It takes more. It takes more than that. It takes sports biomechanics, it takes sports physiology, it takes sports psychology. And it's not just only 4 months before, it's not only 6 months before. A training cycle or an Olympic cycle doesn't only limit itself to 4 years. And it depends on the goals, it depends on the objective of where the Olympic Committee or where the sport wants to go, or where the sport sees itself. Now, people have spoken about we are a small country and comparing to those bigger countries. As long as you put your foot in the Olympic game, you are obligated, or you are at the point of where you're going to be compared. What you have to do as a small nation is make a big impact, right? And I think that, understanding a lot of the factors that the Olympic Games require, not just only the Olympic Game, but the Commonwealth, those marquee events require a lot of resources. And we have to ask ourselves, are we really ready? Are we really ready? Because if we're ready, I'll go back to the mindset. We wouldn't be running our professionals. We would embrace, because the more we are together, the more united we are, and the more that we encompass different views, because it's the different views and people not agreeing at that level helps. It's not a negative thing, because when everybody is saying yes, something's wrong. And the British people will tell you that, because I'm in that environment where you have difference of opinion. These are the things that sharpen the expert views of others, so that you look at things differently. It takes a different mindset of your support staff, and it takes a different mindset to be medaling at the Olympics as well. I say hats off to all the athletes who have made the effort, and we understand that innate effort takes us that far. Where are we with sports science in this country? Where are we? Why are we not embracing it? Why are we not doing more so that our elite athletes, who are few in number, could be able to have access to that and proper sports science intervention, so that you take the athlete to the next level? That is the type of competition that we're dealing with. Because every country, whether it be Canada, whether it be the USA, and mind you, Jamaica, as well as in Barbados, they're dealing with sports science as well. There's a sports science through UE. There is that space that they're doing physiological testing. What are we doing?
Right. And what I want to find out from you is, what are some of the policies that you think can immediately see a drastic improvement in the performance of Tobago-based athletes?
This is the thing about me with policy. They're beautifully written on paper. It's the execution. And I think that we have failed in the execution of policy, because policy is not just only about execution, it's about monitoring and evaluating. And how often have we reviewed things that are not working? We have the sport company. How many evaluations, or how are we assessed? Are we reviewing what sport company is doing from the elite perspective? What are they doing? Are we assessing? And I believe that Tobago, in its own space, could create that elite athlete development program. And I say this because you have the hyperbaric chamber in the countryside that could be used to assist as well. You have spaces that you could create. You don't need a huge space for a physiological lab. Look at this place in Plymouth, where you have the field, you have the playground next door. It is where the deaf and dumb school, they were there at a point in time, that building. You are next to the playground, you have the beaches close by. You could create a product. And I'm saying, if you have the professionals, right? Any policy that you've written that this should be done, it's the execution. It is the implementation aspect of it. Do you have resources to back it up? Are you going to follow through with it? Are you going to make sure that personal issues do not interfere with the rollout of policies that you would have nicely written, or you would have taken from different policy documents, international documents, position statements that you've taken from across the world, so that you'll want to follow?
Understood. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to come back and we're going to continue the discussion. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. In Tobago. Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure. I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making the plans for the Tobago Carnival fun. Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable. I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we have been chatting with Mrs. Bailey on sport this morning. Thank you so much for rejoining us. You spoke before we left for the break about establishing and developing departments and units that are specifically focused on that elite athlete performance. But one of the elements even of that athletic performance has to do with that athlete's mental health, and having those psychologists involved, those sports psychologists. Tell us about the importance of that aspect of the sport.
I think it's really important. I look at this cricketer that killed himself. It's alleged, but I believe that mental health is really crucial. Just the mere fact of having support from the public and that positive vibration, that positive feedback is really important. Jeremy spoke at length about it. of, you're giving your effort, you're giving 100%, and the critics and getting that negative feedback is really detrimental to them going forward, or for them giving their effort going forward. Psychologists are really important because they help athletes to visualize sometimes their performance, especially when they have injury, but also visualize the positivity to the end goal. In working at many points with psychologists, even how other sports scientists as well as support staff interact with athletes, we have to be very cognizant of how we deal with athletes and understanding the impact of mental health and how your interaction with them, how that affects them, their past, what is going on in their life currently, the things that they're not able to overcome, their fears, their insecurities. These are things that sometimes, most times for some people, that they inhibit performance. There's so many factors that affect mental health, and I think that one, being very truthful about your insecurities, being truthful about what affects you, being truthful about what motivates you, also would help the sports psychologist, or would help the therapist to help help you to move forward. I always like to talk about unmet childhood needs, and these are things that don't go away if we don't address it. Most of us as adults, we do have unmet childhood needs that need to be addressed, and these are the things that continue to plague our performance, or plague the things that we want to achieve. And I think that it would inherently entwine with mental health. If you don't address it, it would affect. There is a physiological response to not dealing with mental issues. I'll give you a personal feed, in the sense that there were certain things that used to affect me. Like, you have people talking negative about you, or sometimes they never had any dealings with you, but they wouldn't like you because that term of relational aggression. Someone would tell them something, and that person like you. And, it affects some people. It affected me. But when you're able to dig deep within yourself and recognize that it doesn't come from you, it is not from you, and you have to accept that is who other people are. These are some of the things that you're able to override, you're able to get past, so that it doesn't affect your own performance in the long run. So this may be minute, but it really impacts the lives of people who don't address it and recognize that, listen, this is not you. You are not to be culpable for that. That is on others. And therefore, in seeing that and understanding that, embracing that, you're able to step on. But that is not the only thing that's going to affect you. And I would want to say that in the sense that apart from, the negativity from the public when it comes to athletes, I would say this to the public. When we have local sporting activities, what helps the athletes is a full stadium. And you would listen to Olympic athletes in the immediate interview, and they would talk about how the crowd would either motivate, and they have to be able to put in practice what the psychologist would have taught them to do, which is to focus and to control their emotions. How we could contribute as a nation is attending local sporting events and prepare the athlete for the international stage from that perspective. Because when you are accustomed from a psychological perspective, competing in crowd with a packed stadium, that is one aspect of sport performance that you're going to conquer. Therefore, going at the Commonwealth Games or going at international meet, then you're not going to be able to have to jump over that hurdle of having the large crowd. Because when you have a lot of people in a space, the vibration and frequency is different. the vibration and frequency could distort your own personal vibration and frequency. And that's another conversation to have when we look at things that we can't see.
Right. And with all the knowledge that you have gathered as a sports scientist, what is it exactly that you would say you want to contribute back to Tobago?
I want to be able to contribute to Tobago in terms of having our own sports science center. It may be small. It should be small. And we should use that as part of a package to the European market, that you could take them away from the cold. You come into the sun. Mind you, there is benefits in drinking coconut water and being exposed to the sunlight. I think that with my expertise and as an accredited sports scientist in the region, that if we have that small space and that we have the resources to back that up, I kid you not, give me 10 or 15 young persons who would have studied sport, that would have studied physical education. We would make them sports scientists as well. Because with the British Association of Sport and Exercise Science, I'm at the point where I could be able to mentor other sports scientists as well. We know that in Tobago, without even doing any assessment, that there are persons with the potential. You look at their parents, the genetic disposition, right? You look at persons who are across Tobago, whether you've gone into the gym, you look at the form, the physical attributes, there is something to work with. Imagine doing that. The effort that has been done so far, I applaud that. Imagine taking it another step with sports science. The network, so that you have other sports scientists like myself from my network that would be able to assist, who would love to come to the Caribbean to assist. We mentor. So it's not just keeping the knowledge. It is about mentoring others, because we are not here to turn to stone. You see how life is. One day you're here, next day you're not. And what are you going to do with that knowledge? Right? I have been in the sporting fraternity for more than 15 years. I've seen it. I've worked in different aspects, from the Ministry of Sport, Sport Company, Division of Sport, right? Ministry of Education. And it is the same thing. When are we going to get out of that cycle? Right? I am willing to give back, regardless of what the obstacles I have faced in the past. I believe that I would call it the Joe Biden effect. You recognize that the impact that you can have in the future, you recognize that you need to give room for the younger ones. Step aside.
All right, and I want you to leave your contact information if anyone wants to reach out to you, and encourage Tobagonians to get involved in that sports science as well.
Yes, thank you. The number is, yes, 372-6751. Again, the number is 372-6751. Let this Olympics be our reflective point, and Tobago, I speak to you. Get up and get. Stop running your professionals. Embrace others to come home. Embrace others to contribute. We have to reflect on the fact that we need to be able to get to the next level. And to get to the next level, we cannot do it in isolation.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on this morning and telling us about all that you have been doing when it comes to sport and sport science. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. Welcome to my kitchen, guys. You have to stop it again. That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Like this.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. You're very hard, fiesta.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash. What you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good all.
Set you up but turning off 9-9. Girl, go the clamp, can't ride. Up nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. In Tobago. Whether you're chipping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure. I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun. Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable. I said I can't wait
Tobago in October.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning I have the pleasure of sitting in the studio with Miss Sonia Whitlock as well as Mr. Kwesi Williams, who's an embalmer and she is the branch manager. Now we are talking all things Belgrove Funeral Home and services, and you know, when we talk about Belgrove, it's synonymous with quality. This morning we want Mrs. Whitlock to tell us a bit about the history of Belgrove here in Tobago and what's happening for that 136-year anniversary.
All right, thank you so much for having us. Yes, I am Sonia Whitlock, manager of Belgrove's Funeral Home. And with me is Kwesi Williams, our skilled embalmer. And so we are excited. We are excited to be here today because we are celebrating 136 years of distinguished service in the island of Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, 11 years of dedicated service to the people of Tobago. And as we celebrate this milestone, we will be embarking on initiatives whereby we can be able to edify and educate the public as to the products and services that we offer and affordable packages that we would offer. Even to note some of the services that, or the initiatives that we will be rolling out. We start with on the 29th of August, we have our open house day where we cater to the needs of all the persons who would have supported us along the journey. We would meet with stakeholders, our service providers, all those persons who would have assisted us along the journey. Also, just to note, we would be hosting community outreach campaigns throughout Tobago, where we'll be hosting pop-up shops at different districts, edifying the public again as to the services, the products that we offer. Some keynotes that we need to take note of. We will be embarking on projects like who are the people in your neighborhood, the Lambo community where we serve. We would be embarking on a beach cleanup campaign, as well as we would be giving back to the community where we provide food hampers for the vulnerable and disadvantaged families in Tobago, and we would adopt one home for the elderly as we continue to provide valuable service to the people of Tobago.
Excellent. And when it comes to the type of quality that Belgrove provides, persons often come to the conclusion that it might be outside of you know, the range of what they can afford? What are some of the packages that you have?
You know,
and are there any payment plans and strategies that are available? And how can persons get quality while having affordability?
I would let Kwesi come in just a bit, but you see, there is that misconception, because we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things. There is that misconception on the ground that when you hear Bell Groves, it speaks of expensive packages, and that's far from the truth. At Bell Groves, we work along with families where we provide them with the services that is needed, as well as you ask how low can we go? How low can we go? We have packages up to, and for our Tobagonians, a need for you to know that we bring this to you, and it has always been packages as low as $10,000, not $14,500. We have packages up to $10,000, and we even go to the extent where we meet people where they are with a $7,500 package. So we are clearing up all the misconception, even as we look a certain way, that level of professionalism, and it doesn't deplete from the level of service and quality. Kwesi, what about the services that we provide?
Well, morning everyone. First off, as Ms. Whitlock would have mentioned, right? Now, when you see Bell Groves, you see this big grand thing, right? However, behind that, our main focus has always been our clients, right? So everything that we do will be predicated around that. So we would have packages as low as $10,000. However, not everyone, we understand economically that not everybody could afford such. So the NIS grant that they give you for $7,500, we usually accept that and we say, okay, here's what. Because we are more about clients and community and service, we say, you know what, let's do this. Because at the end of the day, our philosophy is that every life is a story, and the funeral is the time to tell it. Yeah. So not because you can only afford $7,500, it means that we will treat you any less than someone who, you know, who has more to put out for such. Additionally, as we're talking about prices, Bell Groves has actually been the first funeral home, I would say, that has what we call a FLC. It's our family legacy company. So in essence, what that does, it allows you while you're alive to pre-plan for your funeral through Bell Groves. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a bit more about that.
Oh yeah, sure. So the packages range from, I think they start around 20,000, right? However, that allows you to facilitate 6 persons on the plan, right? Those plans range from monthly payments as low as $200 and something, $300 and something, like that. Yeah. So what it does, while sometimes we try to shy away from, oh gosh, no, oh God, no, I ain't going dead, no, don't plan for my friend.
And it's just an insurance. It's an insurance, just preparing for the afterlife.
So basically, what that plan does, it covers you in the event of untimely death, and the ages for that. The good thing is that that ranges from ages 7 to 70. Right? And after 70, like in the event you say, okay, mom, dad, our loved one was good all that time, and we see after 70 they started to have a slow decline. We also have a package. We have a package for that as the supreme legacy. Right? So we actually cater for that.
And just let me add a bit as to some of the additional services that we provide to our Tobagonians. Bell Grove Funeral Home, we have free bereavement counseling, as well as our cemetery management company that deals with headstones. And there's a lot that we offer at Bell Grove's Funeral Home. And so even from the level of Tobago, we really want to say thanks to all of you for the support that you would have given us over the years. And even as we continue to make significant strides in the island of Tobago, we want you to know that it's not about price. but it's about we meeting you and transforming funerals into celebration.
Right. I mean, I can speak from my own experience.
Yes.
I have attended a number of your funerals, and I know that the quality is always top notch. And you know, it's commendable how you try to reflect the life of the individual, you know, in the service, and just with, you know, all the additional stuff, and it's always well put together, well managed, and that is very commendable. I mean, I heard recently, you know, we don't want to call any names,
That's
but
okay.
persons are, you know, are saying they want to look like themselves even after they die. So, you know, when they take my body, take it to Belgrade.
And Quincy, as the skilled embalmer, I would always say to Quincy that he brings so much value to the organization as our skilled embalmer. I always say to him, you have gifted hands, because when an honorary, we don't call the deceased a body or the dead. We honor the persons who pass. So when an honorary comes into our establishment, when you pass, your features change. But when I go into the mortuary, and I view and I see, okay, this is how an honorary came in. When Chrissy brings that honorary into the chapel, kissing clean. Quincy, can you tell us about that level of transformation?
No, but one thing I would say though, our CEO, he never skylarks, to use local term, in terms of how the bodies look, how they are presented, and you see, he has a very sharp nose. So in my earlier years, if I were to even, like, a body's, we present the honorary for funeral, and he passed and we're like, okay, no smell, great. Because we have a thing, when you come to view your loved one, the only thing you should smell is whatever perfume you bring. We have a no-fly policy at all. No flies are to be booming around our bodies at all. Right? And in terms of the kissing clean, now the main purpose of embalming, sometimes, and I think I can clarify that now. Now, there's a misconception that embalming is not ideally necessary, right? But based on the standards that we hold ourselves to, I mean, Belrose has won international certificate, right, on an NFDA level. So which means that we hold ourselves to a bit higher standard, right? Now, when you embalm, what you basically do is you eliminate or slow down the process of decomposition while preserving the body. So if you need to come and say, okay, now you want to hug your mom or kiss your dad goodbye, you can do that without any form of cross-contamination.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And even as we wrap up our discussion this morning, we're talking about 136 years in the business, as well as 11 years dedication to Tobago. You know, you having that beach cleanup down there at Lambo, and you having that community outreach where you would be adopting a family. But how can persons reach out to you just to hear about some of the services, some more about that, you know, about, you know, setting up that family plan for, you know, their loved ones? How can they get into contact with you?
Well, for our contact, it's pretty simple. We are available on Instagram. You know, I mean, we're in the age of technology now, right? So you just go to our social media pages. All the group of companies information is registered there. In Tobago, if you're interested in the FLC packages, if you come to our office in Lambert, that big, nice white building you see around there, you come there and you just come to the office and you ask for Quincy Johnny. He's our FLC rep for Tobago, and he would more than be happy to assist with starting you on the plan.
All right.
And you know, even as we come to a close, as manager of Belgo's Funeral Home and on behalf of our visionary leader, Mr. Keith Belgrove, our CEO, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the Tobago community for the support that they have given us over the years. 11 years is not 11 days. And so we are at a point where we are now moving into our adolescent year in the island of Tobago. and we continue to hold fast to our name, where we provide professionalism, value, quality. We are not premium. We are a gold star company. And when I say gold star, I speak not of price, but I speak of value, being able to take care of families, being able to meet people, our clients, where they are. And may I encourage Tobago, the community, to visit us at Belgo's Funeral Home, celebrating 136 years of distinguished service and 11 years of dedicated service to the island of Tobago. We are now offering packages, $10,000, yes, $10,000, and that's all inclusive. And for those who are just below that, and you're a point where Sonia, we can't afford this, and you have the NIS grant, we will work with that 7.5. And thank you so much for your continued support.
All right, Tobago, you have heard it here. Belgo's Funeral Home, they are celebrating 136.
One thing that we must make mention of.
Go ahead.
Cremations. How will we forget the amenities that we provide with regards to cremations? Cremation, it is on board with regards to the only crematorium on the island of Tobago. So guys, cremations, it's here, and we have our crematorium. It's up and running, and it's now relieved families from the hassle of having to travel to Trinidad. So we are well on our way as we celebrate life's precious memories.
All right, well, you heard it here, guys. All the services that you can get there at Belgo's Funeral Home. Now, unfortunately, we have to wrap up our discussion right here this morning. There's so much we can still chat about, but we are unfortunately out of time. But we want to thank you guys from Belgo so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you so
and
much.
Sharing with us how you would be celebrating 136 years.
Yeah.
Again, thanks for making us your choice this morning. Guys, thank you so much for joining the discussion. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting, and doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Have a great day again. Thank you. See.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful!
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, Ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival.